Sometimes, the smallest stories carry the biggest lessons. Let's discover one together.
Have you ever wondered why the more you chase some people, the farther they seem to go? This is the story of Elara, a kind young woman who spent years trying to keep people in her life until one quiet lesson changed everything. Every morning, the peaceful village of Willow Creek woke beneath the golden sunrise. Birds sang from the trees, a crystal clear river sparkled beside the narrow roads, and the warm smell of freshly baked bread drifted through the cool morning air. Elara was known for her gentle heart. She always helped others, smiled warmly, and treated everyone with kindness. But deep inside, she carried a painful habit. Whenever someone became distant, she blamed herself. She believed she had to try harder, give more, and chase people so they wouldn't leave. She worked in a small bakery owned by Mrs. Roseland, an elderly woman with a kind heart. One evening, while walking home, Elara noticed a tiny sparrow resting quietly on an old wooden fence. One of its wings looked slightly injured. Feeling sorry for the little bird, she gently placed a few breadcrumbs beside it before continuing home. Days later, something much more painful happened. Her closest friend Mira stopped answering her messages. She avoided her in the village and acted as if Elara no longer existed. Heartbroken, Elara sat beside the peaceful river as the sun slowly disappeared behind the hills. Then the little sparrow returned. As she watched it, she overheard two women nearby whispering. They laughed and said Mira was embarrassed because Elara was always chasing people who didn't care. Those words shattered her heart. For a long moment, Elara simply sat in silence. Then she looked at the sparrow. The tiny bird slowly stretched its healed wings. It didn't beg anyone to stay. It simply became strong enough to fly. In that quiet moment, Elara realized something she had never understood before. She wasn't losing the right people. She was holding on to the wrong ones. The next morning, she walked back into the bakery with a peaceful smile. She stopped checking her phone every few minutes. She stopped waiting for messages that never came. Instead, she focused on her work, enjoyed each day, and appreciated the people who genuinely cared about her. As the weeks passed, life quietly changed. A kind local artist named Nora invited Elara to paint by the riverside. New friendships formed naturally. No one needed to be chased. They stayed because they truly wanted to be there. One peaceful evening, Elara stood beside the river once again. The little sparrow landed gently on her hand for a brief moment before flying freely into the glowing sunset. This time, Elara didn't feel sad. She simply smiled. She finally understood that real relationships are never forced. The people who truly value you will choose to stay. And sometimes, the greatest act of self-love is having the courage to let the wrong people walk away. Remember this: never chase people who don't see your worth. The right people will never need to be convinced to stay.